shit.
I really forgot the
Here we
name.
go again.
Oh, shit. I knew it always happened. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the second episode of Mondial Station, Bluefin Media podcast for live coverage for the FIFA World Cup 2026 on YouTube Live. Actually, we do have a lot of content to speak about. We had 3 wonderful games that actually took place between yesterday and today. But I want to start with the Canadian game, with a Team Canada game, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. It was a pretty decent game, to be honest. I mean, for the Canadian team to have possession for 65% off the 2 halves, it was really unexpected. But at the same time, I felt like we had a problem in the final touch with the finish. They didn't have, like some sort of an arrangement. Like, they didn't have a system actually put into effect when it came to watching the game. I watched the whole game, actually took off work early, and I had to go watch the game. But when I was watching it, I've seen, like, that's not the Team Canada that I'm used to. Mind you, there are 2 main characters or main players that are actually out of the squad today. One of them is Alphonso Davies, which we actually did lose. This guy is like significantly, I don't know like how to say it even, because always the Team Canada has been all about the like playing together, but at the same time Davies was missing, which was a little bit too much that we can't even substitute. We do not have the substitute. But let's just start with some statistics that happened today. We had a beautiful opening ceremony, a beautiful kickoff start. We'll just go straight into effect, some statistics. We do have 65% possession for Team Canada today. And on the other side, for Bosnia, they had 35% possession, which is not really quite what we're looking for. But again, we have a total shots of 8 for Canada, and we do have 6 total shots for Bosnia as well. Pretty much, we had a lot of shots off target. We had like 2 on target for Canada out of 3, and we had 3 out of 3 that were on target for Bosnia, but they only scored 1 of them. And the same thing with Canada, they only scored 1 of them. Canada blocked 3 shots. Bosnia didn't block any shots because we weren't really in that attacking position when it came to the game. But at the same time, we didn't have any penalties. We had 9 corners for Team Canada and 3 corners for Bosnia, which is pretty decent. Like, I felt like Canada was like attacking. They had a system going on in the second half where they were dominating the game. Hands down, dominating the full 45 minutes of the second half, which was really helpful when it came to that point. But again, I would have talked about the effectiveness, or like how effective the shots are, like how effective we go on the goal. There's so many things that are actually unhinged that weren't sold for me watching the game. But it was pretty decent. I mean, for a start, there's always pressure on the home team when it came to Team Canada. Like, we're playing on grounds. We're playing at the BMO Field, the Toronto FC BMO Field in Toronto at Gardner Expressway. So we did have a lot of people. Actually, a lot of people left work early or took the day off to actually go see the game. So it was packed. And for the first time ever, I've seen the Canadian team play right in front of me on the field in a World Cup game. So that was pretty decent. It's pretty nice to see something like that. But for me, as a game, like, I didn't really enjoy it. But at the same time, what do you expect? it's a first game. There's a lot of pressure. There's ifs and buts. For Team Canada, they had a lot of missing players, so I won't really talk about how we played as a first game, but I do see potential. There's a lot of potential. A lot of potential. I mean, we do have 201 accurate passes out of 268, so it's an 80% accurate pass percentage, which is really good. For Bosnia on the other side, it's really 95 out of 149. They didn't really pass that much. You're just like trying to do quick rebounds and try to play on the ball when it's loose, pretty much. So that was the main thing for me. We were equal on tackles, 12 per 12 for each team. So not really much interceptions too as well. There's 3 for Canada, 7 for Bosnia, which is really a great number. But then again, the clearances, and this is what I want to talk about. For Bosnia, they cleared 52 shots out of 52 shots. So literally, just away from the goal that was scored, they cleared out 52 out of 52. They sweeped 52, while on the other side, Canada only cleared 12. This is a big number when you look at it. That means that we're attacking. We had a lot of tackles, a lot of shots going in. I mean, we're the best version that I've seen of the Canadian team up till now when it comes to not friendlies. I'm not talking about friendlies. I'm talking about like shit that's big, like the World Cup. You got my point? So for me, I've seen the game just in a different way because I'm used to watching European teams, Latin teams as well. So it's really different when it comes to soccer on our end in North America. But again, at the same time, there's a lot of potential. Really didn't enjoy the game, but it was decent for a start for the Canadian team, and it was quite well of a ceremony as well. We had only 2 yellow cards on the other side for Bosnia. We had 2 yellow cards on the Canadian team as well. We had a couple substitutions. Actually, I want to talk about the Canadian team's substitution. The Canadian team substitution was bang on. So Laren went down like right after the 70th minute, right? And he was, like he did his best to actually go and score a goal. And he did the exact thing that the coach wanted him to actually do, which is scoring a goal, getting us up. And instead of going out with no points on the first game, we actually went down with a point, which is pretty decent when you look at it. He was given, what do you call it? He was given a task. He actually performed that task pretty well, and he did what he's supposed to do. So I really, hats off, salutes to our coach. He really did really well on putting things together, substituting in the right time. Away from that, it was just, it was not a dangerous game. You know what I'm talking about? It's not really dangerous. It's not really the game that you would like to see at an opening game of a FIFA World Cup. But it wasn't really the opening, because we know, like, the game that took off yesterday, South Africa and Mexico in La Azteca Stadium in Mexico City, that was a really bang-on opening game. It's a lot of events. We're actually going to discuss it right now. So I want to move off from Canada and Bosnia and talk about Mexico and South Africa for a little bit, because I really enjoyed the 2 games that took place yesterday. So the first opening ceremony game in La Azteca, just like we talked about it, is between Mexico and South Africa. Mexico scored 2 nice goals by Quinones and Jimenez. Really top bin goals for me, to be honest. They have a lot of potential to go through the round 16, to be honest. For me, I would expect Mexico in the round of 16, especially when you're playing on your own lane, you're playing like home team. It's you have ifs and buts always, but for what I've seen against South Africa, no, they were pretty systematic. They had a plan in effect. They knew what they were doing. They knew actually what they wanted from the game. So they went down, they played, they just did their thing. But again, it was a beautiful game. It was a nice game. We're going to talk about some statistics for the game as well, just to give you guys a good shot of everything. We did have a 60% possession for Mexico and 40% possession for South Africa, with a total shot of 16 for Mexico, 3 shots only for South Africa. It's as if I don't know what happened to the South African team, but this is like, what do you call it? It's very abundant when it comes to talking about these things. For me, South Africa wasn't really, they didn't really have a system in effect, I felt like they were just juggling the ball and just passing it around. They didn't really have like much focus, much plan on what they wanted from the game. And it really brushed off their coach as well. Because I've seen the guy, this guy was like popping up and down, left, right, and center during the game. And I felt like there was no connection. They were really unlucky too, also, because they got 2 red cards, which is not normally what happens in an opening game of the FIFA World Cup, because we really haven't seen that much red cards. It's like an opening game, like everybody's having fun, they're nice, doobie and stuff. But again, they did pretty decent to, according to the effect of the 2 red cards that were actually put on at that time. And then what surprises me the most is that the other guy from Mexico, their player also took a bang-on red card at the end of the second half. So again, it was like a lot of that Brazilian guy, Siampao, the referee was really tough on his hands in that game. But again, let's go back to some statistics and just discuss what was going on. We had 7 shots off target for Mexico. We had 1 shot only off a target for South Africa. They haven't really shot much, just 3 shots. Mexico managed to actually score 3 of the shots on target. One of them was offside, 2 just went in. They had 5 blocked shots, so they blocked 5 shots. And South Africa didn't do anything, pretty much. I mean, they were not there. For me, South Africa did not even bother to come down that game. So again, we had 1 yellow card on the Mexican team, 1 red card. We had 2 yellows and 2 red cards on the South African team by the end of the second half. There were no penalties awarded also, only 3 corner kicks for Mexico against 1 for South Africa. And then the next part is actually what really surprised me. I wasn't really surprised because I knew Mexico did pretty well, but to have 520 total passes and you have 90% accuracy of 489 passes, 489 correct passes with a 90% accuracy percentage out of 520 in an opening ceremony game, I was wowed. That was wows out for me. I was really blessed to see a game like that because I really liked what they did. On the other side, for South African team, they had 272 accurate passes of an 81 percentage out of 334 total passes, which is pretty decent. Again, 12 tackles for Mexico, 14 tackles. Oh yeah, I want to speak about the tackles for South Africa because that's what brought them down. It's just they're so unexperienced when it comes down to tackling and doing these things at the back of your quarter, and you have the 2 center backs that are not there, and you just have the guy that's on the line, the left back is just going back and forth, grinding out that guy. He was grinding at that. And then, you just like, he was so naive. This is what I wanted, that's the metaphor that I was actually looking for. The guy was so naive. The African naiveness. Wusa, you know what I'm talking about? He was very naive when it came to that, and I was super surprised that a guy with that experience actually do that at the end of the second half. Didn't really do him well, you know? Just their team fell off and they started receiving goals, and this is what happened. This is what happens when you don't score against big teams. You just get eaten up. For clearances, we do have 15 clearances on that part. For Mexico, we do have 17 clearances for South Africa, which is pretty well. 2 saves each. We had a couple switches, a couple substitutions actually that took place. Quinones, that scored the goal, took off at the 79th minute, and Alexis Vega went inside. And then in the 77th minute, right before that, Oswanapolis took in Aubrey Madiba from South Africa. Also, Magopa went in replacing Ikram Rainers for South African team. Jimenez went out, and then Armando Gonzalez went in on the 76th minute. Alvarez also went in, substituting that Eric Lira. I'm telling you guys, watch out for that player. Eric Lira has got 7.9 stars this game. He wasn't man of the match, but he's super well. This guy's super, super fine. I'm talking about a class player. Actually 7.9, and obviously because Quinones and Jimenez scored, both of them, Quinones got 8.5 as a rating, and Jimenez got 8.2. So that was really well when it came down to that point. On the other side for South Africa, I would see Foster. Louis Foster played really well. He got a rating of 6.1, which is pretty decent for a losing team with 2 red cards, to be honest. But yeah, for an overall, it was a nice game. I enjoyed watching it. Pretty much wanted Mexico to win, and they won. Really class from Mexico. Didn't really see that much to talk about than a team that has a solid foundation, has a structure, has a system going on, and they have the grinta, they have the volia, they have that, you know, they want it. They want to go grab it. They want to go to round of 16, and I'm seeing Mexico going to the round of 16, to be honest. To be quite fair, South African team, after this loss and after losing 2 very important players for the next 2 games, it's going to be really tough for the South African team in that group to do anything, because I also want to speak about the 10 p.m. game that took place between Czech Republic and South Korea. And that was actually the best game out of all of them. That was the best game out of all of them. I really enjoyed that game, and I'm going to speak the most about that game. So, going on from Mexico, South Africa, I'm just going to do a quick switch on the other side for South Africa and Czechia, or Czech Republic. Game was bang on. Why? When you want to speak about possession, when you want to speak about accuracy of passes, and at the same time doing this, you have a systematical pressure zone that's in effect by both teams at the same time. So both of the teams were actually pressing on each other. They were bang on head to head. Really super nice game to watch if you want to learn soccer, and if you want to learn good tricks to actually keep your team in possession while they don't have the ball. It was really great to watch that game. That game also took place in Mexico. It was a really nice vibe game. Everything was super nice. I mean, if you speak about possession, South Korea had 62% possession, and Czech Republic had 38%, which is pretty decent. Honestly, Czech Republic was very lucky, very, very lucky to score that game, but they deserved to score in the first half. But then, man, those Korean people, they don't have much finesse. They don't have individual qualities that would actually put them right in front of the goal. But you feel like it's a one machine. It's like an 11-man kind of gear, you know, just switches in. South Korean team was superb when you speak about systematically pressurizing your opponent and just putting him under pressure, like squeezing him off. Like literally, it was a battle. It was a grind battle in the midfield when it comes to speaking about that. South Korea did pretty well. I was really surprised to see him advance like that in a World Cup game. It's really likable because South Korea has history. They were fourth when it came down to the run in the Korea and Japan World Cup 2002. Really enjoyed watching them back then. But they went off for a little bit, you know, like how Asian teams are as usual. Really did so well that game. I want to speak about the total shots. 15 total shots for Korea. 11 of them was out of target. They had 11 shots on target out of 15. Czech Republic had 3 out of 7, which is also pretty decent. But again, no penalties awarded, 4 corner kicks for South Korea, and 5 kicks for Czech Republic. I want to speak about the first Korean goal. The first Korean goal was a banger, scored by Lee Kang-in in the 67th minute. It was really nice, to be honest. And then switching on the other side at the 80th minute, Hwang In-moin scored the second stunning goal. I would feel honestly that this would be one of the best top end goals in FIFA World Cup 2026. Why? Because I didn't really expect the South Korean player to do that much when it comes to an individual quality, but this guy just, I was watching and I was like, like, oomph, like, give me more, Poppy. He was, I don't know how he did that dribble. Like, he literally, you're gonna see the goal right now while I'm talking to you guys. The guy literally just popped it off, switched it to the other side, threw the goalie and the other player to the left. He took the ball to the right side. He did that feint, and he was just right in front of the goal. Scored a beautiful banger. I feel that if nothing crazy would be scored in the World Cup, that would be up for a Pushkash award for this year. To be honest, up till now, obviously, when it comes down to these things. I do have total passes of 500, the kings of passes, as usual, Asian teams. South Korea of 541 total passes. They had an 86% accuracy too, which is very decent, 469 out of 541. Total passes on the other side for the Czechian team, 327 total passes. They got 230 accurate out of them, of a 70%, which is pretty decent. They did some crosses. There are 3 saves for South Korea. There are 4 saves on the other side for Czechia. Interceptions 9, 6 in favor to South Korea. Clearances 32 to 21 in favor of South Korea as well. they really dominated. I felt like they just put on a mask, some sort of like, I don't know how to call it honestly, but it was some sort of like a magical kind of character. They just went on, went down in the second half, just did what they needed to do to actually grab the 3 points out of that uneasy World Cup group, to be honest. After a bit also, we do have USA, United States of America, versus Paraguay in just 10 minutes. So probably I just wanted to give you guys an insight, show you the goals, show you what happened during the game for both of those 3 games. Really good start for FIFA World Cup, because what we've been seeing for the past couple of weeks, from how it was organized and how the system's going on, you know, you've seen like so many. I don't want to say like they've been racially profiled for whatsoever, but again, there are things that happen that we weren't really expecting that to happen at the FIFA World Cup. In terms of going to customs pass, like fetching out the players, just like how they did it, like it was really obnoxious, really physically disturbing and mentally disturbing as well. But then again, we come back to the same point, which is good start, very high potential. We're gonna see where it's gonna end. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for today. That's it, that's all. Just make sure you hit that like, follow, and subscribe button at the bottom right here. Yeah, you see it? No, a little bit to the left. Here you go. Just hit that button, subscribe. Help me reach out to as much people as I could. Really be thankful for you guys. I'd really be grateful for people that actually help out doing these things, because yeah, we do need it. We need to be heard. I mean, this motherfucker right here is spending some money, you know, doing some things to just make everything look good for you guys. So thank you very much. This is how we're gonna end it today, and I will see you in episode number 3 tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. Canada zone, 1 a.m. Egypt time, and that's it. That's all. Thank you very much. Ciao, amigos.